Hey everybody, what's going on? So it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday morning, and I figure these are good days to sit down and talk to everybody about what we thought about Book of Boba, Chapter 4. So, as the title says, personally, I think this was a banger. We got to see a whole bunch of stuff, and actually, I mean, I've watched it 3 or 4 times at this point. So for me, this is an exciting episode. There's a lot of stuff that have been expecting, we have been wanting, and I got to start off the stream with whoever's got this Beta Fett or this Filoni failed or this Favreau failed or you know Boba Fett failed. I hope this episode maybe swayed you a little bit and brought you back to the fun side of this show. It's not that I'm saying that you should just, fall down and fawn over the Book of Boba Fett. I know it's been a slow start. I know that things have not come out strong. Again, I go back to my previous statement. I think guys and directors in particular should just not say anything to the lead up to their shows, right? I just feel like this gives us what's the word I'm looking for? This gives us a expectation that is unrealistic, right? You have the director come out and say, all killer, no filler. Well, sorry, spoiler alert, there's been a lot of filler. There's been a lot of filler. So I think that's a big part of going forward with Star Wars. If something that Disney and the leadership over at Lucasfilm can learn from this experience, I feel like learn that just be quiet and let the show speak for itself. Let the quality of work speak for itself. I think that that might be the biggest learning point in this new era of Disney on Disney Plus, not the cinematic stuff that's in the theaters, but here on Disney Plus. I think that we already have huge expectations as a community. The community is yearning for this kind of stuff. But what you guys got to understand is that we need you to just let our expectations be our expectations and don't try to. I mean, I understand you're trying to build hype. You're trying to get the word out there, but let the trailers, if you're going to release them, speak for themselves. Let the actors do some interviews. Keep the directors at bay, because I feel like that's a big part of why our expectations get put to the next level, and then people get let down. They let you down. Whereas I feel like if you're letting the leadership at Lucasfilms, the creators, the storytellers, Favreau, Filoni, let them do the talking. Let your movies and your shows do the talking for you. I feel like if the director for Book of Boba would have just zipped it and let the work speak for itself, people would have been a little bit more forgiving on the slow start. Oh, okay, he's telling a story. He's telling a story. But no, you come out and say, it's all killing, no filler! Right? That's not gonna work, because then you have your fans expecting. And if you're doing that for clicks or to get people in, shame on you. Shame on you. But I don't think that's the case. I think he was genuinely excited about his show, his Star Wars directorial masterpiece, if you will. And I think he was excited. Unfortunately, you put the expectations of a large amount of people in the atmosphere, above the atmosphere, and you come out slow. You come out, in my opinion, with great storytelling, right? You've done some amazing storytelling, but you can't say all killer, no filler, and then give people the opportunity to call Boba Fett Beta Fett. I'm sorry. That's not how you get it done, guys. You know this. You've had the fumble before. Let's stop fumbling the ball. Stop letting these guys just say whatever they want on social media. Obviously, hasn't the social media game, I mean, look, they're going to say whatever they want, but hasn't the social media game hindered Star Wars enough at this point? How about just say, look, guys, let's just not do what you do with your crew. Your crew can't say shit. Your crew signs these NDAs. We can't tweet shit about what's going on until after it's out. Not a picture, not a tweet, not a nothing. So why don't you hold the upper management to the same, and the actors for that matter, to the same standards, right? I'm not saying that you have to take away their social media accounts and let's just have some restraint. Talk about the show. Talk about how excited you are. Talk about how excited you are to play the character. But directors and actors, I mean, look, Gina's off the books and people tweet things that get them in trouble or don't. It's just, just keep the show stuff. Don't tweet that kind of stuff. Let the PR department, let the trailers do their job, right? That's why they build trailers. That's why they spend all this money on editors and these fancy, rope-a-dope, so to speak, because they know what they're doing, right? That's just how I feel. Anybody else? I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Go ahead. Okay, time's up. Yeah, I just feel like this is another misfire over at Disney Lucasfilms. Just keep the directors at bay, right? There's no need to let them speak. I feel like the trailers are speaking for themselves, and the shows are going to speak for themselves, right? I mean, that's ultimately the show is going to speak for itself. And granted, it was a slow start, so far we're the team at the back in the relay race, right? They're starting now. We're starting to pick up on the second half, right at the halfway mark. But at this point, we need to realize that this is a full story. Now, I made this point last night. I had a lot of points that I was making last night. One of them, I just want to say outright, I didn't have time to clip the clip because I was getting everything together. But we can go back over the Boomer Council if somebody wants to throw it in the chat at a mark. But I called the Rancor scene, right? I called the dinner over the Rancor pit and Boba using his Rancor as a little bit of muscle, a little bit of, hey, check out my guy here. And it worked. Sat everybody back down to the table. I think that's important. Me being right. Anyway, moving forward, let's check out some of the chat real quick. Obviously Strike is pumped. He's our resident Boba Fett expert. And Boba Fett is his guy. Episode 4 is a turning point for the series for sure. Very excited what they are bringing to the table in the following 3. Yes, we are very excited about what's coming. Look, slow start, but I think if they finish with the last 4 episodes being at this tempo, again, I've watched it 3 times. I think I'm going to watch it a 4th time right now with you guys, and just go over bits and bobs. I'm going to pause and bring up the screen, and we're going to talk about this. But for me, this episode was fire. This episode was fire! Fire! Come on! This episode was fire, guys. Aiden, what's up? Welcome. Episode 4 was great. The Matt Cave, my East Coast self. Star Wars is back, baby. Matt Risman has given us some applause. Finally, we're getting some positivity going around about the Boba Fett. And the Matt Cave agreed. Filmmakers are certainly welcome to be excited about their work, but need to be very cautious when speaking about it before release. Yes. I'm glad we're on the same page. I'm sure we're going to get into this tonight on council. But yeah, this is big stuff for me, man. I feel like Mr. Rodriguez puts out amazing work in his life. I'm a big fan. I just feel like be excited about what you're doing, but don't overhype the fandom, knowing that there was a slow start. I mean, you directed it, you watched it with everybody. You know a slow start when you see a slow start, and you and Favreau were building a we're building a story, dude. I'm with you. I'm on team story building. I'm not on team, need to see everything at once. But let's be real, man. You really put the hype train into overdrive. You threw it over 100 and you burned it out a little bit, my guy. You burned it out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say, but you did it. And going forward, I hope there's a Boba Fett season 2, and I hope you are directing, because I think the look of the show is sick. I think some of these Tatooine sunsets and sunrises are bloody epic. But I think just, holster your Twitter account, holster all your social media until the show comes out, and give the fans an opportunity to judge your work without you assist. We don't need the assist, my guy. We're already hyped for what you're bringing to the table. All right, let's see. Eli Martin, this episode was insane. I watched it 3 times last night, only slept 4.5 hours. Today, I have a job interview, getting a new tiny home delivered, and have to take the old one out to the spot. That's it. Look, congratulations. I hope you do well at your job interview. Number 1, go get them. Don't take no for an answer, right? Show them your enthusiasm, right? And take some of the teachings of the Jedi in with you, right? Truth, honesty, loyalty, all that fun stuff. So yeah, guys, Eli, everybody put some energy out in the universe for Eli. We want him to have a good job interview. Congratulations on your new tiny home. I'm a big fan of tiny homes, even though I live in this monstrosity. I also watched it 3 times. I watched it once last night. We got off council. I was buzzing. I couldn't sleep really. I only slept a little bit under 5 hours, I think, overall. And then I got up and watched it again in the living room. And then I came up to the office getting ready for the stream, came up to the studio and watched it again. And again, I think I'm just going to blow through it now again with you guys here. And then I'm going to stop it and pause it at certain places. I'm going to run the music in the background just because, we don't want the mouse to have a cow. We've already been shut down once, housed by the mouse once here at the Star Wars Obsession. So we're trying not to do that again. We're trying to keep things all copacetic. So guys, if you are out there and watching and you want to watch along and kind of, my reactions are muted. We're watching the show in this viewing party. We can't really let the show audio come out on the stream. So I'm muted. My mic is muted, but you can see some of my reactions on the watch party over at X-Wing's channel. And I was hyped the whole time for this episode, guys. Now, like I said, I have liked all the episodes. I pull pearls out of all the episodes, out of all Star Wars. I'm pulling pearls. And just to show you guys, I am super pumped about this. I even brought out my a shirt that I don't wear. I have a bag full of these because I think eventually this stuff is going to go away. But I'm wearing my Slave One. But I do. Again, we're going to talk about that here when he gets into it. We're going to go through the whole episode. We're going to talk about this thing. We're going to break it down. I know my European friends, it's hard for you guys to stay up late with us because it's daytime or it's early morning work time. But I think that's why we're going to do these midday streams, these for you guys, these late morning, early afternoon streams here in the US, here on the West Coast and Pacific time. But I think you guys get an opportunity to jump in and watch with us and get behind this thing. So, I think we're just going to jam out. We're going to watch a little bit. Yeah, bro, he was amazing. We've been waiting to see that scene. I'm not even going to mention it. There's spoiler alerts on the title of this stream. If you're coming in here, you're ready for spoilers. But that scene, I'm not going to say it until we come to it, but that was probably one of the sickest things I have seen in Star Wars in years. He did it! We got to see it! All right, bro. I hope we'll get to this. Let me write that down. Let me type that somewhere because I want to remember this thought for later because I think it's a great opportunity for toy manufacturers to do something really awesome right here. So I'm going to actually create a new note real quick. Hold on. You bear with me, guys. BK toy. That's gonna be awesome. Thank you, Padawannabe. You're getting gold stars, my guy. You're getting gold stars, and I might even make a shirt out of that scene right there. Okay, Matt, our guy Matt Cave on the East Coast. This was the episode I wanted. I knew we would get in some form. I'm calling it here. All the remaining episodes are going to be fire. I agree with you, my guy. I think all of the episodes from here on out are going to be fire. I mean, at this point, I don't feel this way anymore. I'm not worried about that. No longer have that bad feeling. Even at the bottom, I haven't had it the whole time. I've been trying to push my positivity towards others, and it seems to be paying off. If you were waiting, it's here. The Boba Fett you've been waiting for is here. Okay. Yes. Let the Wookiee win. Exactly. Yes. Oh my God. yes. You literally, I wanted to wait to the scene. I was going to show it. But yes, you took the words right out of my mouth. They should make a Trandoshan like, you remember the wrestling buddies from the 90s, right? Where they were, whatever. And you should be able to rip the arms off. It should be like a push-in socket, like Cabbage Patch Kids or stuff like that, where you got to give it a little bit, right? But how awesome would it be to have a Trandoshan doll that you could rip the arms off of? Hey, you stressed out? Here. Rip the arms off of this. I mean, come on. Have a BK moment. Ah! Right? Oh my God. It would be awesome. It would scare the crap. If you took it to the office and had it in your desk, and then when you get frustrated, you've just had enough of somebody's shit, you're like, oh my God. You pull it out of the desk and you're like, ah! And you just rip the arms off that Trandoshan. That would be epic. Hasbro, make it. Make it. Strike says, sorry, I'm having dinner, so I can't participate right now. If you're still live, I'll give you a thought later. Yeah, bro. I think we're going to be live. I think we're going to do this. We're going to jump into the episode right now. I'm going to push past the intro. I'm going to give you guys a 3, 2, 1, and then we're just going to jump, man. I'm just going to play some tunes in the background. We're going to just watch. I'm going to watch the episode again. So if you're here and you haven't watched it yet, or if you want to watch it again, put it on. I'll give you a 3, 2, 1, and you'll kind of be where I'm at. But yeah, man, this episode was, I mean, just, I am, I'm pumped, man. I really, no, you're fine. So I'm going to give you one of those. We're going to do a 3, 2, 1. I'm going to give you one of these, and then we're going to jump. And it's going to be start time. Yeah, I think Padawannabe, I agree with you. That would be my therapy at home. Like, aside from all the other stuff that we do, when things get a little heavy, just having a Trandoshan doll and a funny looking Trandoshan at that. He was like the nerd Trandoshan, right? He was obviously like the office worker or like the council assistant or something. He was definitely not a warrior Trandoshan. Let's be real. That was the accounting PR department of the Trandoshans. But yes, I mean, how great would it be when you get frustrated with life and you want to, I don't know, slam your hands on the table or go out and cry or scream, and you just get to go and grab your Trandoshan and rip the arms off. If you have a Wookiee, oh dude, they should make a BK mask, bro. I mean, obviously there's going to be some dope costumes for the tall folk, right? Because we little guys, that are under 6 foot, I don't think we could pull off Wookiee. But a BK mask that you could put on with the Trandoshan doll and be like, oh my God, take my money, bro. We're in it. Hasbro, get on it, guys. I guarantee you, it's a seller. It's a seller. Yeah, he was definitely a paper pushing lizard. All right, guys, we're going to give it about 1 more minute here. Actually, we're not. We're going to go into it right now. So, without further ado, I'm past the intro. I'm past all the Star Wars faces. I'm at marker 135. I'm going to give you guys another minute until the 21 marker, and then we're going to push play. It's at 135. 1 minute and 35 seconds is where we're starting. And then like I said, I'm just going to play it through on my other screen. Then I'm going to show the screen when I think things, I mean, we may be showing the screen a lot. in pause, to be honest, because it was amazing. It was amazing. I mean, there's so much goodness in this, and the setup for all of this was so perfect, man. You couldn't have had a Boba Fett BK fight that was to the death. We wouldn't have got this epic scene, guys. Everybody's so mad that that BK was a 3 out of 10 on intensity. If this episode was anything, this was drunk BK. This was like 10 or 11 or 12 out of 10. I mean, he literally manhandles people, and then I can't. We'll get there. I get ahead of I'm so excited about it. All right, here we go, guys. It's the 21 mark. We're over. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, so yeah, we're gonna watch this. We're just gonna let it flow. I've already seen it, so I got the subtitles on, so I can actually see some things that are going on. But yeah, man, this episode was what we have been waiting for, and so watch with us. I think we changed this into a aftermath watch party kind of thing here. So we're gonna kind of let it go. No audio on my end. I'm just watching with subtitles because I don't want the audio to come through here. But yeah, just great stuff, man. I mean, it just from Jump Street, and I'll narrate a little bit here. It fades into, with Boba riding his bantha through the Tatooine desert, and there's not another soul in sight. In fact, the only other thing we see in this beginning scene is a dead bantha skeleton. It's the only thing we see out in the desert. It's the Dune Sea. So it fades away, and we see Boba for the first time looking at Jabba's palace in the distance, right? A lot of us were waiting for this time, for this scene, for this flashback. We wanted to see how he acquired the Slave One, and now we're going to get to see it, right? We finally get this this thing we've been waiting for so long. So Boba gets in his Tusken rifle scope and checks out the guard situation, and there's just, Bib has got this place on lockdown. He must be paying people a fortune to keep this place on lockdown and to keep running things the way he's running them, right? So Boba decides, he goes back and talks to his old faithful bantha and tells him, not today. Not today. We're going to have to grab some dinner, find something in the... he must have picked up some tricks from the Tuskens on where to find food. Or he has some stuff that he had with him. And he went, I don't know. I haven't seen him go to town yet. So he found something out in the Tusken desert. Now we get a fun scene here. It is kind of fun. If you've ever ridden horses or had any kind of livestock, they do kind of become your buddy, right? And this is a very my horse, my trusty steed, so to speak. And so, but in this scene here, this is perfect because we get to see the Din Djarin stuff. We get to see the and I'm going to pull this up for just a second. We get to see the rescuing of Finnick. We see those flares flying over, so we know that where this timeline is. And when we get to see this moment, right? And this is a bitchin' transition right here. I'm going to bring this in, right? This right here is, and I'm going to stop the music because it's so bitchin'. This transition right here is fantastic because this is what we saw in Mando here, and we heard those spurs and we knew it was Boba, but then they show us the exact footsteps. That's just sheer brilliance by the writing of Favreau, right? Like, not only did they talk about the spurs during the concept of Mandalorian, and are people going to know those are Boba spurs and not Din Djarin's? Absolutely, we did. But to show us the exact steps that were taken in this. Brilliantly done. Favreau, brilliant. I mean, I'm you're getting a round of applause for me for that. That was brilliant editing. That was brilliant storytelling right there. So obviously we know Finnick is rescued by Boba. We see him carrying her with a bantha. What's up, Stanleys? Welcome. We're just watching the episode over again. Now, this is the start. This is the part of the story where people start to have a little bit of a problem with this show in particular, and Boba and his mod gang. Now, for me, I had a feeling that Favreau and Rodriguez were going to give us a little more background on this gang, or they're going to become more expendable. But this gives us a real insight as to why he doesn't just kill these modded gangs in the current timeline, right? Why he just doesn't gun them down when the water salesman is saying that they're thieves. They saved his partner in crime, right? And so he's got a little bit of, I don't want to say respect for them, but they save Fennec. He sees that they're decent people, that they're not these thieves and thugs and hoodlums that everybody seems to label them as, right? He sees the talent, and I'm not saying that they're necessarily great characters. I'm not saying that they're going to stick around for a long time. The war is coming, and those cute Vespa the Skittle gang, as everybody's calling them, are going to be no match for the Pikes. Let's be real, people. They're going to get tore up by the Pikes. The Pikes are ruthless, right? So we see this scene where Boba, this scene feels very tattoo parlor to me. Some people were saying it was a little Matrix with the movie, or with the music in this part, but ultimately we get to see how Finnick gets her insides changed around. And we get to see how Boba saved her life. And this is a big selling point. These bounty hunters have, I don't know if it's the creed. I don't know if it's what it is, but these guys like life debts. You saved my life. I'm with you until till you complete your mission or something, right? It's always something. And that's honorable among, an honor among scoundrels. I've called them all scoundrels, right? They're bounty hunters. They're scoundrels in the eyes of the, I don't want to say muggles, but the regs, let's say. So we see this scene where basically Finnick's getting put back together. We see some cool tools by our friend, the modder himself. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream. We are just going over the entire episode at this point in its entirety, so we're going to just be putting things in here and there so that everybody can catch a glimpse. Code of honor amongst thieves, I don't know, it's just something about it, man. It's fantastic. I know a lot of people don't get behind it in Star Wars, but I think it's cool. And I think it shows Boba, he needs more at this stage in his life. He's the Tuskens have changed some perspective, life altering stuff. Rick James, I'm Rick James, bitch. Yeah, that was fantastic. So we're at the part now where Boba is giving Finnick a black melon, and he talks about how you start to crave that black melon after a while. It's not exactly water. He calls it milk, so to speak. And then they go into this conversation about how Boba saved her life. She asks what you did to me. He breaks down, we took you to the modders. I saved your life. There was no other choice. It's that or death. Well, what's it going to be? Anyway, they go on this conversation. Now, Boba knows exactly who this woman is. She's out cold. But he knows that's Finnick Shin from the mid-rim. And they're bounty hunters. They know about each other. They know everybody. Everybody knows everybody. But this is a real good scene because she tells Boba's dead. died. Now, at this point, it's been a long time. It's been years. I would like some clarification on the exact timeline, how long he was with the Tuskens, how long he was in the Sarlacc, because at this point with Finnick, he said years. We'll get into that later. But yeah, so at this point, Boba and Finnick are having a conversation, and he explains he is Boba Fett. He says it a bunch of times in this episode, in case you didn't know. And her exact words were, Boba's dead. And he explains that he was left for dead on the sands of Tatooine. Like her. And he explains that he was rescued by the Sand People. They took him in and made him one of their own. And this is a big thank you for stopping in, Cobra Disney Jedi. Have a great rest of your work day. Stay safe out there and take care of everybody in your circle. And then they talk about the Tuskens getting beat by a swoop bite gang. And Fennec says it best. That is unlikely. Unlikely. And this is a big spark. So here we go. We get to the fire spray conversation. He says, I want you to help me get my fire spray gunship. Now, he doesn't say, I want you to help me get the fire spray. No. My fire spray gunship. Meaning, there could be more out there. We know in the comics and all of the back stuff that this should be one of the only ones out there. If not the only one out there. But we've known they've changed comics before. Interesting. So they have another conversation about where his ship is. And Fennec tells him, hey, I'm on your side until we get your ship back, and then I've paid my debt. And Boba is perfectly fine with that. No problem. So begin the recon. Now, a lot of people said that this episode was all Fennec. Fennec. And yeah, there were some Fennec parts, but this is a large episode of him rescuing Fennec and her showing her worth. Her true worth. He understands. He knows who she is. That's Fennec Shen. He knows. But she shows us why. Even Boba says, you're the master assassin. Fennec Shen from the mid-rim. He doesn't say you're Fennec Shen, some assassin. You're a master assassin. And she shows us why. She's a baller. Right? She's got the technology, right? This technology reminded me, all of us, of Darth Maul on Tatooine when he was looking for the Jedi, right? But this technology is dope. It's tiny. It's all but silent. And honestly, I mean, check this stuff out. The imagery is, that thing is awesome. It's like a little, it's, if you're a Harry Potter person, it's like the snitch. It's like the golden snitch, right? So we see this thing and it's tiny, and basically it is doing a layering blueprint of the entire palace. People, guards, everything is laid out on that, probably except the droids. But I mean, really, if you're going to say you're the master assassin, Fennec Shen of the mid-rim, then they're showing us why she is a master assassin, because she pulls stuff like this out of her rifle. She doesn't have a bag of tricks. She's got her weapon. It's got gun, knives in it. We saw her fling that knife at, I think it was BK. Anyway, and we find out she's got her little blueprinting orb. Now, fast forward to all of that shenanigans. Micro probe droid, the Stanleys, giving out the information. I got that same vibe, bro. That same vibe. So anyway, we fast forward a little bit after that scene, and Boba's saying goodbye to his trusty steed, right? This is a very, for me, it continues to show this Boba Fett. Boba Fett needs a pet. Boba Fett needs a pet. He just gave up his trusty steed. He likes his Rancor. Boba Fett just wants a pet. He just wants somebody to love him unconditionally. So he lets go of his bantha. Finnick and him have a conversation until her micro probe droid gets back and gives them blueprint and layout and shows them all of the people. Now, during this conversation, it talks about how Bib betrayed and double-crossed Boba. I don't know if we're going to get to see that more in flashbacks. I feel like there are still more flashbacks coming our way. I feel like we're not done yet. I still hold out hope we're going to get the Cad Bane duel, but I digress. Let's keep focused. So the probe droid shows up, shows them all the guards. They got to figure out a thing. They're talking about him becoming the family ruler of Jabba's area. You know, Fennec's like, bro, we're hunters, man. We capture people for a living. This isn't us. And Boba just flat out says, aren't you tired of working for people that are going to get you killed? Don't you want a piece of the action, not just your bounty? Don't you want to take a shot? I want to take a shot. Last time I worked for somebody, I ended up in the Sarlacc pit. Seems like Fennec's coming around. We'll see. More to come. Let's get back into this chats over here. Episode is an 8.5 out of 10 for me. Best so far. I agree. So we get to the actual grimy part of this episode, and we see Finnick has more tools in her tool bag. She has, it's almost like a lightsaber razor blade, right? You hear the sound, what sounded like Palpatine's lightning, but for me, it sounded more like lightsabers crossing, right? It sounded like lightsabers connecting. But anyway, she uses her fancy all-cutting blade. Perfect time to see. Yeah, it would have been. It would have been great. But that means then he would have had to die at the hands of Finnick and Boba. And I don't want to see that yet. I want to see there's more. There's more. But wait, there's more. So we come into the kitchen and we see some old friends here. Now, I did have a question. We'll get into this later. I'll go back. But we did get to see some old friends from Return of the Jedi. And I think our friend here, I think our chef friend here is actually from one of the prequels in the diner scene with Obi-Wan and Jax? I'm going to mess that up. Anyway, we get to see an old friend here, and he is, unfortunately he gets beat up by Boba, and then we get this felt very General Grievous to me. I don't know about you guys, but this felt very General Grievous fighting style to me. Just me. But anyway, Fennec shows up with her lightsaber razor blade and slits this thing's head off, and they move forward. Now, a lot of people were not happy about what's coming next. I warn you guys, cringe moment for most people. I thought it was entertaining. Again, I try not to crap on Disney, but we get this moment with our little buddy here, the rat catcher, right? And they chase him around, and it's very silly. But at the end of it, I feel like it's an important moment, let's call it. Not an important moment, but a fun, fear-mongering moment. Everybody knows who Boba Fett is, right? And yes, most people are going to say Boba is dead. Fair. So they chase this little lep droid around for a little while, and eventually they get a hold of him, and Boba's got him pinned against the wall, and he's like, hey, do you know who I am? And he's like, no, I don't know who you are. He's like, hey, I am Boba Fett. And the droid literally looks down and he opens a compartment. He's like, and he turns himself off. And for me, I felt like that was a lot of fun. He literally reaches down and turns himself, deactivates himself. He's like, I didn't sign up for this. This isn't this. I was hired to catch rats and vermin for the stew. I wasn't hired to deal with bounty hunters like Jango Fett and Fennec Shan. He was out. So anyway, fast forward to what is an epic moment for us. Epic moment. Right here. Boom. The first sighting of the Slave One in Jabba's palace. I don't know about you guys. I was hyped. It looked fantastic. You heard the music. It was amazing. Then we got our two Gamorrean friends come in. Now, I'm curious if these are our two Gamorrean friends that swear their loyalty to Boba later. I'm not sure if these are the only two Gamorreans I see, but neither of them get gunned down. So my thought is, are these the two Gamorreans that have sworn their allegiance to Boba? Are these the two original guys left from Jabba's entourage? We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you've ever tried to grab a kitten either, but they're like Jello. They just slip right out of your hands. So that dread. Yes. Hey, the Slave One! You go check it out. The Slave One's here. Yeah, I tried to alert the universe. So we get a bitch and gun scene here. And again, I feel like this is where Fennec shows how bitchin' she is. I mean, literally, she took on like 10 guys on her own. She beat up a couple hand to hand. But this moment right here for me was epic. Boba climbing back in and firing up the Slave One for the first time in years. Yeah! The Slave One's on! I can't even. My excitement is on a whole nother level with this. Like this episode was what I have been telling people is coming. I mean, literally, we get now, granted, Boba crashes this bitch into the wall a couple times. I mean, there's no turning radius on this thing. The door's closed. He can't see nothing. And really, he really gives the Slave One a thorough, concrete stamp. But again, we see Fennec go to work. I mean, she doesn't miss, man. She doesn't miss. And again, every time we see the Gamorreans get up, they're just getting their butt kicked. They're not getting shot. They're just getting thrown off of stuff, whatever. You know, they're not getting. So I'm convinced those may be the two Gamorreans that are left, my friends. So next thing we know, Fennec, being the boss that she is, tells Boba, "Hey, why don't you shut the hatch?" And she's just grabs her rifle, not even nonchalant, just boom, shoots a chain, door falls down, or weight falls down, door goes up. And we get to see for the first time, I mean, since what? Empire Strikes Back? I mean, we did see it in the prequels, so you know what? Clone Wars, maybe? I don't know. But we finally, for the first time in many years, we get to see the Slave One in live action right here before our very eyes, taking flight for the first time in a long time. And I don't know about you guys, but when you hear those engines power up and you see Boba in the cockpit, man, it just feels like I'm 5 years old again. It just feels like I'm a kid in a candy store. I literally cannot get over these two in the Slave One. Now, we get into the ship with Fennec and Boba, and they have a little conversation about what's the next move, what are we doing, where are we going, when Boba says we, and she's along for the ride for the moment. They talk about getting repairs, and Boba says, nah, I'll repair my own ship. There's a little bit of an advantage to people thinking you're dead. Now her debt's paid, so she can do what she wants. Not bad for being in storage since 1980. My car wouldn't have performed that well. Agreed. We would have needed some power converters from Tashi Station. Anthony, the YouTube fan. Yes, this was a good episode. Chapter. I was glad to see Fennec and Boba's story. As we said, the war table has been set now. War. Mando, let me off. Yes. And then we get, I'm sorry, everybody, the most. Now, for those of you that said Boba Fett, Beta Fett, what? I'm sorry, but I don't know of a Beta Fett that's going to gun down these guys while they're on a leisurely ride through the sands of Tatooine. But he even saves a special missile for the leader of that gang, everybody. Now, I'm sorry. Beta who? In case you didn't know, his name is Boba Fett. And he's one of the baddest motherfuckers in the galaxy. In case you forgot while he was doing other things. Moving forward, we get to the Sarlacc pit. We get to the barge. Jabba's crashed barge. Now, I would have liked to have seen maybe a skeleton or something of our friend Jabba the Hutt. It would have been cool to see a skeleton structure somewhere in there, obviously. I'm sure he burned up, but there would have been something left, maybe. Yeah, I mean, no one taught these guys how to duck and roll, how to do it. So yeah. Storage Wars, Tatooine edition next week. So we get this conversation at the Sarlacc pit. Now, this goes to show how out of it. Now, I want to say here, and I might actually have to pause it. I might actually have to pause it at the words here. So let's see. They're talking about Beskar. Let's see. I might even have to. Let's go back a couple frames, guys. All right. So Boba says, "I'm looking for my armor," and I'm just saying, guys, this shit's dope. I know there's a lot of controversy on how's the ship fly like this and bobbity ba, and we don't see any thrusters on the front, but I don't know. I would just like to have seen some remnants, some eyeballs, something. I don't know. But this is fire. They need to make a poster out of this. This is absolutely beautiful. Anyway, so I'm gonna fast forward. We're gonna play, and then I'm gonna stop it at the verbs I was talking about. I'm glad I'm watching it in closed caption. That's where I was trapped all those years ago. Okay, kids, stop the music. Stop the music. This is what I was talking about earlier. Okay, so at this point in the flashback, mind you, we're still in the flashback before the events of Mandalorian. This is right at the time of, where Fennec got shot in Mandalorian, right? So here, this is a big point here, guys. Now, that's where he's telling Fennec during the flashback, before he gets his armor back, this is where I was trapped all those years ago. So this is what I was getting to earlier. I want to know, was he trapped in the Sarlacc for a few years? Which I don't think so, because when he came out, everything was still smoking. Or was he with the Tuskens for a few years before their demise, before the train incident? I need some clarification here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big scene for me. This is a big deal, because this tells us where the missing time is. The missing time wasn't was it in the Sarlacc, or was it with the Tuskens? I would like to believe it's with the Tuskens, and that's what he's solidifying, that he was with the Tuskens all these years, that they were like family. But the flashbacks were so quick, I don't know, right? So for me, this kind of solidifies the time, right? It's stacking. We know this is before he gets his armor. And we know this is after the Tuskens are dead. So to me, this kind of puts that in concrete that Boba was with the Tuskens for those years, because we saw him when he came out of the Sarlacc. The barge was still burning. It shows days, not years, had passed by. So I think that's a big one. Holy shit, there's a celebrity in here before we push play again. I don't know if everybody knows. Sheev the Wise has graced us with his presence. Welcome, friend. Welcome. All right. So we're going to continue. Anthony, it's 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Season 2 of Mando's is a year later. I believe Boba was in the Sarlacc pit probably 2 days to 2 weeks tops. He was with the Tuskens a while. Yeah, I'm guessing at this point he was with the Tuskens for 6 years. That's what that says to me. Now, everybody thought the Sarlacc was dead when we saw Boba crawl out. We thought Boba burned and cooked the entire Sarlacc from the inside out. Nay, friends. Nay. Nay. The limb was still draped over. Maybe that limb caught some fire. But nay, my friends. No, no, no. The Sarlacc is very, very much alive. Very much alive. And there you go. The Sarlacc lives. The Sarlacc. The Sarlacc's alive. Run! Sarlacc lives, friends. Padawannabe wouldn't have survived. Wouldn't he have starved to death in the Sarlacc? Couldn't be that long. Exactly. It was days. Days, if anything. I think hours, if anything. Yep. Several years, 6 years with the Tuskens is what it's looking like. 5.5 years with the Tuskens. Oh, bro, you are so a celebrity here. Definitely. Yeah. Honestly, I thought that was hype. This scene was hyper dope. Not only did we get to see a seismic charge before the seismic charge we saw in Mando, but this seismic charge was underground, and man, did it pack a punch. I mean, we saw the Sarlacc just gobble that thing up, and then kaboom! Awesome. It's kind of cool seeing the Slave One laying all sideways like that. But then it takes the barge down, and then Boba flies this thing up and out of there, and ends with this awesome little encounter here. Don't ever touch my buttons again. Those are my buttons to push. If anybody's thermal detonating, it's me. Look at her face. Dick. Beta Fett. Who? Who's a Beta Fett? That's what I thought. Now, look, what a baller. This is why he's so messed up when we see him after he gets his armor back. This is why he's so screwed up. This man is a savage. He just rappelled down into the Sarlacc pit. No armor. Literally, Fennec's telling him you're an idiot. She's also telling him, maybe you should let go of your armor. Maybe, it served its purpose. And Boba's like, no, I need my armor. Now, I'm hoping that later in the next episode, we're going to get to see the Slave One has a tracking beacon for the armor that Jango put in. I hope there's a scene where Fennec pushes a button and it pops up. We get to see that's how he finds the armor, right? That's got to be the way. This is the way. All right, let's see. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, loved seeing that. It just showed the disruption in the sand. Best sound, I agree. Lightsaber. I mean, there's a cooler sound in Star Wars. Let's be real. Savagery, bro. Savagery. Okay. So then, these two are sitting over a campfire. next to the Sarlacc pit, probably eating some Sarlacc, which would be a interesting turn of events. I would like to see them sharing a piece of Sarlacc going, now how do you taste, sucker? Yeah, I mean, bro, he's got such devotion to his armor. I mean, his armor, but he even says it. He doesn't say I'm nothing without my armor because he knows he's a boss, right? But he says I'm less persuasive without my armor. That's key, boys and girls, and we're going to go back over this later on. Okay, my dad just hit me up. He wants to watch the episode together. I'm going to share my thoughts on Hangar Bay or sometime else. Absolutely love this episode. Strike, the fact that you're saying you're on board. Strike on the episode. We're okay. The world can continue spinning, my friend, because you found this episode to be fantastic, and that's what I needed to hear. Yo, yo, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yeah, guys, I mean, this, and then Boba goes into this, you can only get so far without a tribe, right? And then he pulls himself out of the back to tank, and it's we see these moments where he's taking the throne, and these are the scenes from the post-credit scene of Mandalorian. This is I think they're going to give us some more on this betrayal. I still think there's more flashbacks. We're going to get back to this. In fact, I'm going to write it down on my little notepad here. Bib and Boba beef. Okay, I put it on my notepad so that we can continue. So the droid tells Boba, "Hey, you're completely healed," and you can see most of his scars are gone. So at this point, Boba's back to full health as we're going to see him in the show. Now, Fennec asks about the scars inside, yada yada yada. They talk about to see if the mayor's lackey, our Twi'lek friend, had said anything. Then they go on this conversation. The moped gang is out there. The Skittle riders are out there. But Boba says, "Get my armor. Power hates a vacuum, and the people need to see that I'm still here after the attack. I'm still here after the BK attack. I'm still here after all the shit. The Pikes, the Hutts will not take me away." So we get back into the bar, club, casino, and we see some our Trandoshan friends. Are you guys ready? This is the best scene. Now, this dude just looks like a goddamn menace. I'm sorry. This is the BK I think you all are waiting for. It looks like he's getting his drink on after that whole thing. He's watching these Trandoshans win money and have a good time, and all he's thinking in his head is, man, I want to rip the arms off of one of these things. I'm in the mood for a trophy. So, we see him getting pissed off. He's drunk. He's by himself. There's no one reeling him in. He got no wingman. He sees the Trandoshans having a good time. He's had enough. He stands up and just walks over and wrecks the house. Just grabs them out of their chairs, throw them across the room, beating that ass. Boba walks in, sees a Trandoshan hit a wall, and he's like, oh, shit. BK's at it right now. He's on one. He's tied one on. Yeah, I mean, Shiva, I was saying the same thing, bro. I was like, do it. Do it. Give in to your anger. Do it. Now, I feel bad for this poor little bastard. He looks like the Trandoshan accounting firm rep. He's like the sales rep that you send when you need the books counted. So we find our friendly hostess with the mostess here, and she is she's trying to calm dude down. She's like, we've all known of BK. He drew crowds by the thousands in the gladiator pit. You've won every trophy. Boba's watching attentively, going, she's pretty persuasive, this broad. The Trandoshan's whimpering, about to start crying. This Twi'lek is trying to calm this guy down. Look at his eyes. Right here. Hold on. A more civilized time. Look at his eyes. He's like, I just want to tear his arms off. At least one of them. She's like, this is a different time. And look at his eyes here. He's like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't tear his arms off. And she's like, oh yeah, I got you. Ha ha ha. Look at him. He's like, you know what? Screw you, lady. And we get oh my God, we've been waiting for this scene since A New Hope. We've been waiting for it. And she's like, well, pay your bar tab. We'll clear out your debt right now. He's like, nah, thanks, friend. That pissed him off. I cannot be bought. And he literally rips the arms off a Trandoshan. Ah! Splat.
He should have let the Wookiee win.
Bro, we've been waiting for that moment in Star Wars forever. And then he pays the woman like a savage. And then he basically says, you're going to do what you got to do. This is one of my favorite parts right here, right? Boba comes out and he's like, hey, bro, it was worth a shot. You tried. And our hostess with the mostest is like, get the music back on. Somebody clean up aisle 1. We got an arm on aisle 1. Janitor. Yeah, that Trandoshan survives. He'll grow back. You know, they're lizards and all. But, yo, Aiden, what's up, my guy? Now we get to the street. This is the conversation I was talking about, guys. I knew this conversation was going to happen. Boba and BK having a talk in the street about you need a job. Let me employ you. Put the past in the past. It's just good business. And then my favorite scene. We have Fennec talking about Bib taking over Jabba's seat and how everybody scurried away from the table whenever Jabba was gone. And how Boba was the only one with the balls to kill Bib Fortuna. Now, I called this pregame. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm a psychic or anything, but I know good writing when I see it. And I'm going to stop the music right here because this is fantastic. And they ask, well, why are we going to listen to you? What are we going to listen to you for? What's the point? And his Rancor is under him. Now, I thought this pit was bigger. I'm not gonna throw stones here. I thought the pit was deeper. But anyway, Boba goes on and says, you know, you do you, I'll do me. Everything will be cool. But then, you know, people start to mouth off a little bit. Yo. What's up, my guy? I hope you're having a good day. We're just rewatching the episode with everybody, getting a little bit of hanging out time and relaxing. So, Boba goes on talking about basically becoming the Tony Soprano of Tatooine and starts talking about this, that, and the other. And they ask him, why do you deserve to be the boss? What stops us from killing you? Oh, I don't know. My Rancor that's under the ground. And then what? Boba doesn't move. That's my favorite part. Boba doesn't move. Boba and Fennec are sitting solid. And Boba grabs a piece of meat off of his plate and says, good boy. On cue. That's why you respect Boba. Beta Fett who? I'm sorry. Did you guys honestly think that Boba Fett had become a beta? No, baby. He is the alpha. He is the alpha. Of all the millions of clones that were made, he is the alpha. The number one. The top dog. That's right. Take it in. Be right back. Give me 10 seconds. Now, all Boba asks for at the end of this Oh, you stop it. I will banish you. I will take your wrench and I will banish you. So Boba just says, look, just stay neutral. I want you guys to just chill out. And since you guys won't do anything, I'll handle it myself. They mull over it for a minute and they agree. Now, I don't know if you've ever raced cars in the world. I'll go back to my friend here. I don't know if you've ever raced cars, but there's this thing in drag racing. He's called a howler, right? That's the mouthpiece. That's the one who does all the barking for you. They call it a barker also. Howler, barker, depending on where you live. That's what Fennec is. Fennec is howler. Fennec is barker. Fennec's letting everybody know what's what, because when he pulls his pistols out, when he pulls his guns out, it's over. That's Boba Fett. Search your feelings. That's not what he's saying.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
Get out of here.
Everything is
Get out of here. Yeah, thank you, Padawannabe. Badass motherfucking Boba Fett. He's the goddamn alpha. I'm sorry. And then we get this conversation as the tribes leave. Fennec and Boba having a moment on the balcony at Jabba's palace. What's now Boba's palace. They start talking about war. Fennec starts talking money. How many credits you got back there? How much loot we got back in the reserves? Because we need to build an army. And then we hear the Mandalorian theme song. I'm going to risk it, guys. We've been in here an hour. I'm going to risk it. We're going to hear it. Okay. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait, but we're going to do it. We're going to risk it. That's how we're feeling today. Either way, we must prepare for war. How much treasure do we have in the reserves? I've got plenty of credits. I'm short on muscle. Here it is, boys and girls. Now, I don't know if that is very specific. I don't know if that's specific to just our Mandalorian friend. I don't know if that's just for Din Djarin. I could see, like I said, guys, I don't know about you. I am still feeling this moment where Boba realizes he is part of something bigger already. He doesn't need to be a crime lord because he's Mandalorian. Guys, I'm going up. I'm going up a score. I'm saying 9-5. The mod gang, the Skittles, the modders, they don't ruin it for me. No. I up my game. It's not a 10. It wasn't perfect. But that was close, guys. That was amazing. I don't know about you. Think about that shit. We got to watch a Trandoshan get his arm ripped off by a Wookiee, and not just any Wookiee, by one of the baddest Wookiees ever to walk the galaxy. Beta Fett who? Again, I challenge you guys. Show me this is Beta Fett. I watched him gun down people like they were nothing. I watched him rappel into a Sarlacc pit with no armor. I don't know, man. I don't know about you guys, but I don't see a Beta Fett here. I see the Alpha. I see Boba Fett. Boba's back, bitches! I don't know. I don't know what else to say to you guys. It was amazing. We literally got everything I wanted out of this episode. Going forward now, I could see them being amazing going forward. If you guys, I mean, look, I try to pull the positivity out of Star Wars. You guys know me. Everybody's like, oh, it's the like-a-thon, right? Oh, Obsession likes everything. I like a lot. There's a lot I don't like, but I try not to let you guys hear the things I don't like. I try to keep that stuff in here and in here, not out to you. There's already enough negativity in the world without people adding to it. I want you to see what I see. I want you to see the positivity and the pearls in Star Wars, in these shows. I have faith in Favreau in this. Favreau's not going anywhere. Favreau's here to stay. Haters, they're going to hate, guys. That's it. There's more clicks in hate than hope. That's all right, though. We here are going to continue to build hope. Here, we're going to continue to pull the positivity out of these shows, out of Star Wars content. If you want positivity, if you're tired of the clickbait, if you're tired of the click hate, come over here. Tell your friends, too. Come over here. Come hang out. I'm not going to clickbait you. I'm not going to click hate you. You're all free to like Star Wars in your own way. But let the story finish before you shit on the content creator. Let the story finish before we say fire Favreau. That's all I'm saying. Stay away from the click hate. Stay away from the clickbait, because they're two different things. I'm not going to put anybody on blast. But there's a lot of clickbaiters and there's a lot of click haters. But you're not going to find that here. Here, we stand for hope. So, we're going to get in the chat for a few more minutes, and then I think I am going to cut you guys loose. I hope you guys enjoyed the hype today and the fun on our Wednesday for Book of Boba. Boba's back, baby. I don't know where this beta Fett shit comes from. I don't know what the shit, but it's amazing. It's amazing. Good job, John. Good job, Favreau. Good job, Mr. Rodriguez. You guys put something out that was fantastic. Look, I'm still on the train, guys. I'm still on the if we're talking about cameo predictions, I am still hopeful. I am still gunning for that Cad Bane Boba Fett showdown for the baddest motherfucker in the galaxy. I'm still looking for that moment. Maybe the first donning of the armor, walking out to face Cad Bane knowing he's the baddest mofo. I need to see that dent mark get put into Boba's helmet. That is a large part of Boba Fett. We need to see it. For me, that's the cameo I want. I think a Trandoshan getting his arm ripped off by a Wookiee, I think that invites Bosk to the scene. Again, I am still very hopeful that Boba Din. We got to start saying Mando, guys, because there are a lot of Mandalorians now. I'm hoping Boba, Din, and Bo-Katan all start to realize that they're all looking for the same thing, and that the reunification of Mandalore could bring it. So those are my ideas, theology. Let's see. Stanley, I say Din, some Mandalorians, and even Mandalorians from Star. Yeah, maybe. Leia Rose, what's up? Welcome. Love this episode, Star Wars Obsession, because of the Black Wookiee. My guy is amazing in this. BK is fire. Somebody call the ambulance. This shit is fire. Call the ambulance. Call the fire truck. Call EMTs. This episode was fire. Interesting possibilities. So, guys, any final thoughts? I put the link in for the boomers, but none of the boomers wanted to stop in, so that's all good. Yeah. BK's the guy she tells you not to worry about. Chewie's the one that she shows a picture of. I'm hanging out with this kind of guy. Yes, you did, because that's what we do. We do us here for the hype and because it's real. So, guys, I don't know. I'm going to plug it because I don't know. Am I allowed to plug it, X-Wing? Anybody? X-Wing? Is that thing you put in the Discord chat for Boomer, or is that just a solo thing for you? Are we gonna? Can I plug it here, or no? You got to let me know. Anybody? Swing? Come on, Swing. Come on, Swing. Let me know. Swing. Type it.
Type it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably gonna be a solo stream. Yeah, so I think we're gonna close it out. If you guys are not subscribed here, get down. I am going to selfish little man. If you haven't already, get down and subscribed. If you haven't gotten down, and he keeps distracting me. This is what he does. If you haven't gotten down and subscribed, get down there, smash that like button, subscribe, put a comment in there, and let us know what you think. If you haven't already been here in the chat, as always, get over to the Boomer Council and come hang out with us tonight at 6 p.m. over on X-Wing Stream. It's myself, Hawks Holocron, the Matt Cave, and X-Wing himself. Everybody, please be safe out there. We're going to slow it down just a little bit, and do me a favor, everybody. Please be safe out there. The world's a crazy place. Take care of your loved ones. Take care of your pets. Take care of each other. And as always, please, please, please share with your friends. Get in the Discord. Let's get me to 500 subscribers so I can get rid of these toys and get some new things to give you guys on the stream. Thank you again, as always, for watching. And as always, may the Force be with you.